Yeah, so there's two things I want to talk about. One is like how this is a tetrahedron. I just want to kind of like show you. So the tetrahedron has 4 vertices, but in my depiction of the reckoner, I believe the 3 are equivalent, and the other one is more weighted. And I think the way to describe it would be more like that. So it's not flat, but it'll be up at an angle, more like a square, more like a completed like squared circle, where when you would look upon it from the top, it would look like that. So I think that's what's going on right here. Where the bottom, where my thumb is, would be the 6436, and a 6436 is just like a 676. And if this is a 76, and this is a 76, and the middle is a 76, well, interesting. So we're going to talk about some fun stuff. So first of all, a circled 6 and a 9 would be a 70, let's say. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76. Now that's going in both directions. So you got 76, 76, and right here you have a 76. Cool. Well, 70 plus 1 plus 1 plus 13 plus 76 is 161. 76 plus 13 plus 1 plus 1 plus circled 69 is 161. Add them together, you get 322. Which is ego. Which is all that Freemason shit. It's interesting that that whole thing plus that whole thing is that. So that's the first thing of interestingness I want to talk about. Now the second thing of interestingness I'd like to talk about is, remember how in this depiction over here we had 2 circled 74s and we multiplied them, and then we added a 76, and then we added the bottom to get this, and we added the 12 bubbles in between to get this. So we have a doubly circled 74. Kind of how we bridge these 3 together. Okay? And that's just your 6436. But what I find interesting is that I want to look at time. I want to look at the middle of time, which has a circle with a slash through it, a 5, and a 7 that are not being accounted for. I want to see if I can incorporate that into anything and see if I can make that interesting. So the circle with the slash through it, we're going to use on the bottom, depicting a 2. So we're going to do 6436 times 2. There's a circle with a slash through it. Okay, that's a 12, that's a 6, that's a 7, that's an 8, and that's a 12. Cool, there's a number. Now, remember we did 74 times 74 plus 76? Well, I'm going to do this instead. Instead of the plus 76, I'm going to bring it down. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to depict, this was the thing we depicted before. The new thing we're going to depict is this. I'm going to go down and bypass the center and goes directly to here. Now what I think I'm going to do here is, instead of 74 times 74, it's going to be 74 plus 5 times 74 plus 7 plus 6436 times 2. Instead of plussing the middle, I'm going to plus the middle here, so this whole thing will sum. Instead of like adding another 6436, I'm going to add another 10 and 9, so I'm going to add 19. Okay, so it's 74 plus 5 and 74 plus 7, 79 and 81. Now, 81 times 79 is going to be a 9, and that's 7, and that's 56, and that's 9, and 9, and a 3, and a 6. So I'm going to say 12, 8, 7, 2, and 6, 3, 9, 9, and 19 is going to be something interesting. So 9 plus 9 is 18, 18 plus 2 is 20, 9, 18, 19, 11, 12, 8, 9, 1. 19,290 magnets is just 3858 times 5. See what I did? On the last one we did this, and then this one we did this. because I think there's a 3 to 1 factor going on here. It's 3 makes 4 makes 5 makes 6 makes 7, because 6 is complete but 7 brings return, and I think this means is that 3 makes 4 makes a 5. Sorry. 3 makes a 4 makes a 5. That's not what I mean. These 3 tips. 1, 2, 3 makes a 4th center, makes a 5th to make a unified sphere of a 6, which is complete. And because 7th dimension is nothing, I think that's the singularity. So I think there's like a point in space, a point in space, and a point in space. And where they meet is a 4th point in space. It creates a 5th point in space to encapsulate the whole thing as a 6. But the 7th is going to be the actual point in space that connects this point to the rest. So it's like a 1, 2, 3 makes 4 makes 5 makes 6 makes the point 7. 1, 2, 3 makes 4 makes 5 makes 6 makes a point. 1, 2, 3 makes 4 makes 5 makes 6 makes 7. So that's what I think is going on here. Again, took a doubly circled 74, turned it into a 79 because we added 5, and 81 because we added 7. We multiplied them. We added, because it's a circle with the slash through, we added 2 of these. And instead of adding the 76, we're going to add the bottom, but we're not going to add the whole 6,000. That's retarded. We're going to add it a single. There's a little bit of unbalance here, so we're going to add it as a single digits as 19, and it comes exactly to the number that I like. Okay. Reckon. Like, look, got a circled 8. There's a 5 and a 3 with a circle and a circle. Well, here I have a circled 5 here, let's say. So let's take this one to circle this 3. So you're left with a 5 and a 1 and a 14. And let's say, I don't know, I need a circled 8. 5 and a 4. It goes 1, 1, 4, 5. Or we would go 1, 1, 9. Or it would go 1, 1, circled 8. Now the 1, 1 in between might have something to do with changing the order of this. This is a bad example. But this is pretty cool. 79 times 81 plus 6436 times 2 plus 19. We added all, like, we didn't use these parts of time, but we used these parts of time. Because you're splitting away from balance. Oh, my brain works weird. Think about it. 3 makes 4, makes 5, makes a 6. And where the whole thing touches one of the nodes, maybe it's the force required to activate the energy of the tetrahedron. 7. 6 is complete, 7 brings return.